Frontier Communications officials say Jasper has a real chance at becoming one of America's best communities. We'll have more. Plus, Ferdinand officials are looking to form a long-term partnership with a German city, and Pike County 4-H royalty joined Bill Potter for this edition of Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. Congratulations were all around last night for Jasper's progress in the America's Best Communities competition, and those leading the contest say Jasper has a great chance to go far. City and business leaders gathered at Clubhouse 61 last night for the Congratulations Jasper dinner hosted by ABC sponsor Frontier Communications. Officials with Frontier told those on hand that Jasper is in a good position to move to the semifinal round. John Pusker oversees the America's Best Communities initiative. He says teamwork is setting Jasper up for success in this competition.
What they've been able to do here is, as you can see from evidence here tonight, they've brought together public partnerships, private partnerships, nonprofits, and the government all together as one that I think is really going to put together a really impressive plan.
Now, the dinner capped off a busy day for Frontier executives and city officials alike. Frontier's CEO Dan McCarthy was in town throughout the day yesterday. McCarthy says this was his first visit to Jasper, and there was a lot to like.
Great community. Looks like a community that has brought together everyone around a common vision. And I saw that in the application, but I saw it in spades as I sat and talked to the mayor and I talked to the other leaders around the table. And really, it's about creating that shared vision and solving an issue.
Also last night, Frontier officials formally presented the $50,000 check to Mayor Terry Seitz and members of the ABC Jasper team. Of course, the money was awarded for Jasper's advancement into the quarterfinals. The city continues to work at raising the $15,000 local match required for the contest. Up next for Jasper is a run at being a semifinalist in the competition. 15 semifinalists will be chosen in November to present their proposals at an America's Best Communities Summit in January of 2016. 8 finalists will be selected after the January semifinalist presentations. 3 overall winners will be chosen, with $3 million going to first place, $2 million to second place, and $1 million to the third place finisher. Seitz praised the teamwork from everyone in Jasper on this effort. He says regardless of the outcome, the city will be better for taking part in the contest.
If we don't make it to the next step, what we have done to get to that point, to build this team of champions, to focus on our downtown plan that we have and to really see it through, or to see it really get started, that's generated a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of funds. But ultimately, if we got that, it would really be a significant impact, because it would help us as a city in funding. It would help us maybe do things we hadn't thought of.
Seitz says if the city were to win the competition, the money would go towards the city's downtown riverfront master plan and finding ways to attract talent to the area. A fire at a Huntingburg residence destroyed a detached garage and caused other damage as well. Crews with the Huntingburg Volunteer Fire Department were called to the scene of a garage fire at the Larry Spencer residence along the 900 block of Shelby Street in Huntingburg yesterday afternoon at around 1:45 p.m. Huntingburg Fire Chief Scott Patberg says the garage was fully engulfed in flames when firefighters first arrived.
A neighbor down the street here was mowing. They seen the garage on fire, and they went up and notified the owner. And then, of course, they called 911. What we believe is it was accidental. We believe it's some trash inside the garage that caught on fire.
No one was in the garage when the blaze broke out. No injuries were reported, and the structure was a total loss, along with a late model Ford Mustang stored inside. A truck parked outside the garage also sustained minor damage, along with some melted siding on the Spencer home. Huntingburg firefighters responded with 3 trucks and around 15 men and were on scene for just over an hour. The 9th District U.S. Representatives race now has a local flavor to it. Yesterday, District 47 Senator Erin Houchin announced on her campaign Facebook page that she will be seeking the Republican nomination for the District 9 seat. That seat is currently held by Todd Young, who has decided to run for the Indiana Senate seat that Dan Coates is vacating at the end of next year. The 38-year-old Houchin currently serves the eastern part of DuBois County that includes Columbia, Ferdinand, Hall, Harbison, Jackson, Jefferson, and Marion townships, along with all of Crawford, Orange, Perry, Harrison, and Washington counties. Houchin just completed the first year of a 4-year term in the Indiana Senate. She defeated longtime Democratic incumbent Richard Young by nearly 6,000 votes in the 2014 election. Houchin's state Senate seat would have to be filled by someone chosen by the state Republican Party if she were to be elected to Congress. Ferdinand community leaders are taking the first step in a long-term effort to build an overseas partnership with a German city. Town Council President Ken Seacard and his wife Monica will lead a group of 16 people on a trip to Dudenhofen, Germany. The group, which also includes Indiana Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann, will fly out of Indianapolis tomorrow morning. Seacard says the trip will last a total of 10 days. The group will spend the first 4 days in Austria with Archduke Marcus and his wife, Archduchess Hildegard. The group will then spend 2 days driving to Dudenhofen and will spend the rest of their 4 days there. Seacard says the trip has been planned for quite a while after he and his wife agreed to go to Dudenhofen. He says the trip is all about giving back.
It's our way of going back to them and thanking them for coming over and doing the things they did. The tie-in with the Archduke, of course, is his great-great-great-grandfather, is the man who the town was named for, you know. And for Dudenhofen, most of the families that came in and moved into this area, you know, many years back, Mariah Hill, Ferdinand, St. Meinrad, you know, all around, that's where they came from, is from the locale around Dudenhofen. So we're going to go back and, you know, just pay a visit.
Seacard says much of the inspiration for this trip came from the Archduke's visit to Ferdinand for last year's Folk Fest, along with a visit from the Dudenhofen Choir. Seacard hopes this trip is the start of something bigger.
We're not necessarily the sister city with Dudenhofen, but we've been talking about it a long time. And if you notice in my proclamation, I didn't mention sister city, but I said in connection with. So, you know, we're shooting for it. We would like to get there, and then, yeah, we would start a, you know, trip back and forth with each city coming in to visit, and just see how that goes over time.
Earlier this week, Seacard and the rest of the Ferdinand Town Council signed a proclamation thanking Dudenhofen. Seacard will also be presenting Dudenhofen officials with a key to Ferdinand. Of course, Ferdinand would be the third local community to have such a partnership. Jasper is currently sister cities with Pfaffenweiler, a partnership that will celebrate its 30th year at Strassenfest later this month. Huntingburg also has a sister cities partnership with Bissendorf, Germany. TripAdvisor.com, the world's largest travel site, has just announced the nation's top water parks, and Holiday World and Splash and Safari is very close to the top. The 40-acre water park, among the largest in the world, was named the number 3 park in the nation and 10th in the world, following only Disney parks in the U.S. rankings. In 2014, the park came in at number 4 in the nation and 13th in the world. TripAdvisor.com says the Traveler's Choice Awards honor the top 1% of attractions and lodging worldwide. Holiday World and Splash and Safari President Matt Eckert says votes for the TripAdvisor Award came from the park's visitors, who he says were impressed with not only Holiday World's fantastic lineup of water rides, but also the friendliness of the staff. A U.S. Department of Agriculture report says roughly 1/4 of Indiana's corn and soybean crops are in poor shape following the state's wettest June on record. Purdue University agricultural economist Chris Hurt says the federal agency's latest report rates 25% of the state's corn as being very poor or poor. The report says 26% of Indiana soybeans are in similar conditions. Purdue has estimated losses for corn and soybean crops are at nearly $500 million. The State Climate Office has said Indiana's average June rainfall of 9.03 inches was a new record for the month. Many fields that had begun to dry out were again drenched last week as more rain pounded the state. And finally tonight, the 2 Democrats challenging former Indiana House Speaker John Gregg for their party's 2016 nomination for governor are trailing him badly in collecting campaign contributions. State campaign finance reports that were due yesterday show that State School Superintendent Glenda Ritz raised about $30,000 in the first 6 months of this year. State Senator Karen Tallien of Portage reported raising around $24,000. Gregg's campaign said earlier this week it raised nearly $1.8 million through the end of June, topping the $1.6 million collected by Republican incumbent Mike Pence. Ritz has about $112,000 in total campaign funds, far behind the $1.8 million that Gregg has in the bank as he seeks a rematch of his 2012 campaign loss to Pence. The governor's re-election campaign currently has about $4.2 million in the bank. All right, coming up after the break, a slightly cooler local forecast, and Pike County royalty are in for Inform. We're back after this.